And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited to be with you all here today, and I have a very special guest that will be here with us also. She's backstage sharing some things right now, and I'm encouraging you all to do the same. Go ahead and take a moment to share this broadcast and invite your friends and your family, your coworkers to tune in. We're going to be learning some valuable information today, especially when we're talking about how to balance this thing called life. I really want to make sure that as we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time, that we know some of our options, things that are available to us to be able to just have a better life. And sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of times we do know that we don't know what we don't know, but we don't know who to find it out from. So I am excited about the opportunity to have Nancy Alert share some very helpful tips with us on how to be able to, with no money down, according to what she's sharing, be able to help with getting multi-family units. And so we're in for a tremendous treat today. Tag your friends and your family and your coworkers. And let me just intro her briefly so that you'll get a chance to know who she is. Nancy Alert is a multifamily expert and has been in real estate since 1996, y'all. She's led successful real estate practice in the Washington, D.C. area. And we're going to talk about where her licenses are located and where she's licensed to share in her real estate field. But she's a international best-selling author of Journeys to Success, Sales Professional Edition, and Hold My Crown. She was nominated into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame for earning over $1 million in 2 years. So this woman is in Who's Who in Black Washington, D.C. You name it, she's been featured in it. And she also has an award-winning television show. So I am excited about having Nancy Alert be here with us today. And I'm going to take a moment and go ahead and bring her in. Are you ready, Nancy Alert? Give me a thumbs up. All right, all right. So we're going to bring her in. How are you, Nancy?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am fabulous.
Well, I know you're traveling, so I'm so glad that you found a nice spot for us to be able to still have the show. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, Nancy, where are you? I know you said in the DC area you've been practicing with your real estate for many years. That's
Yeah.
been pretty much the area that you've always been in?
Yeah, so I started in Virginia, then I got my DC license, then I got my Maryland license, and recently I am now able to sell in Dubai.
I saw that. I was like, you went abroad, right?
I know, so I'm in Maryland, Virginia, DC, and Dubai.
Dubai is a beautiful place, even though I know that there's been some hardship
I
recently
know, I
in
know.
the area. So I know Bishop Amir May, he is over the Dubai jurisdiction for the Church of God in Christ. And
Um,
he was raising funds at an event that I was attending this past week to help with some of the hardship that's happened there with the
yeah,
residents. So
yeah, with
yeah,
the
there are
world.
sisters and brothers everywhere around the world. We're sisters and brothers, and we need to look out for each other, you know?
Yes, we do. Yes. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I
Yes. And
am.
my sister's keeper. We have to be.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
to be that. Not just only our biological brothers and sisters, which we should automatically be for that,
Right,
but
right.
we
But our
should also
sisters
be.
and brothers in Christ. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to have you here. I know that let me tag Dr. Lotus for Shay because
Yes.
I want to make sure she knows that that is the reason that we are connected. We were recently participated in a conference that was a game changer, wasn't it?
Yes, that was a one. I mean, so many entrepreneurs with great advice, people that use their pain and turn it into purpose. I mean, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was really great.
Wow. And I know that with you being in real estate, Was has that always been a passion of yours, or you want to tell us kind of how it all began for you?
Well, so like well my mom says I've never met a stranger, so I so
I
I've
can imagine
always
that.
been a people person, right? I've always been a people person. I always want to help people, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I did know that I did not want to have a 9 to 5. From day one I knew a 9 to 5 was just not going to be it for me. It's just they're going to fire me because it just wasn't going to do it. So I thought about it, and the truth of the matter is, at the beginning, I'm like, I want a career or a job where I can create my own hours and I can create the ceiling for myself, not someone else, right? I create the
Mm,
ceiling but based on what I do and how I do it. And I'm like, well, where can I meet people from all over the world, right? And help them and make a lot of money. I was like, oh, real estate, let's do it. And I started that in 1996. And from that point on to now, and which is like, I think 28 years,
mhm.
the money is what got me into this, but I always tell people the people is what kept me in it because I enjoy meeting all the people. And when I say I meet people from all over the world every day, I
Yeah.
meet people from all over the world. And the exciting part of that for me is I'm a foodie. I like to eat and I like to experiment with food. So I'm able to sample because they always want to cook for me or whatever,
Uh-huh.
introduce me to their food and culture. And I love, love, love it.
Yeah.
Love
I
it.
saw I read about that too, that you love is it Korean food?
Yeah, so I love Korean food. I love Ethiopian food. I love sushi. I like anything exotic. The only thing is, I don't eat pork, but I will try. I don't eat pork and I don't eat beef, but I will try anything at least once, with the
Okay.
exception of the pork. And if I like it, I love it. If I don't, I won't eat it again. But I got to try it in order to say, I don't like that. Right?
What about oysters? You like oysters?
Do I like
Oysters?
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! Yes, I just had me a whole raw tower the other day. So I love oysters. I love clams. I love sushi. The raw. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can't have
Oysters are good for
shellfish.
you.
No, I can't have shellfish. So
Uh,
haven't. I don't even know how this even happened. When I was younger, I did not have an allergy to shellfish. I actually used to work at a crab factory when I was
mm-hmm,
a kid, and
mm,
would crack the crab.
right,
And I think I ate more than I actually put in the bucket for my
right,
25 cents. But I was like, okay, I got to put some of these in the bucket because I
right,
literally get paid per
right.
perfectly cracked shell. So I would crack the crab and put one and then crack it and eat one. I'm like, okay,
Uh,
Kim, you know what? But I now I can't have it. I can have I love salmon and
uh-huh,
halibut is one of my favorite
right.
fishes and stuff. But
But it's funny that you said that you weren't allergic, but you are now. The funny thing was, I was allergic to shrimp, and I think it was the iodine in the shrimp I was allergic to.
mm,
But I kept eating it until I'm no longer.
you're like, oh, we
I
gonna
kept
get
eating
rid of
it.
this
Things would
allergy.
come out on my face, and I would still eat it. I'm just yeah. And now I'm not allergic to it anymore.
That's funny, funny. Anyway, listen, everybody. Today we are talking with Nancy Alert, and we are talking about how to be able to properly invest in multifamily units without having to put money down, according to what you're saying, right? So
Yes.
I am trying my best to determine how does that process work. So let's jump right into it so we give people a chance to walk away with lots of notes. I hope y'all have your
Okay.
notebooks, as Lotus Roche
Have your
says.
pen and paper.
Pen and paper, get it out. Let's go. You can always go back and watch the replay too, but let's talk about how do you propose? Well, first of all, you think everyone should be some type of owner.
Of course. So a lot of people are afraid. So we're gonna take care of that first, and then we're gonna jump in. But everyone within the sound of my voice, if you can hear me, you can do it. Okay.
Yes.
Everyone should own at least one multifamily unit, at least one 4 unit building. And it's easier than you think. And we're gonna get into that and let you know how easy it is for you, John Q. Public, to own a 4 unit building.
4 unit building. Now, why
Mhm.
4 unit versus 8 unit or 20 unit? It just that's the starter kit type of thing.
So right for everyone, I usually say 4 unit, and that's when I'm in a coaching or a website, a webinar or a
Mhm.
workshop, because that's where we're starting. And if we're starting, then you start at a 4 unit, which is a residential, right?
Right.
Anything above four is commercial.
Oh, see that
So
that right there
if
is
anything
already.
above four is commercial, which means you're paying the commercial interest rate and the commercial down payment and things like that. But if you get a 4 unit and you live in one that is a residential property, you live in one and you rent the other three. So that's residential. Yes, and that's how we come into the zero money down and the 3.5% and the 5%. So before, even for your residence, if you
Mhm.
bought a 4 unit building, you had to put 20 to 25% down. That was the down payment that was required of you,
Okay.
right? And last year, November 18th of 2023, the rules changed. It was like a game changer. They changed the rules where you no longer have to put 20 or 25% down, you 5%. 5% conventional financing. So those individuals that already have an FHA loan, they
Mhm.
can go conventional and put only 5% down. We're going to
Oh,
come back
okay.
to the FHA loan in a minute. So 5% down. If you already own a property and you have an FHA loan, 5% conventional, you could buy a 4 unit building. So let's get going, right?
Yeah.
If you don't own any property, you can do FHA, which is a minimum of 3.5% down. You do have to live in the property in one of the units. So you buy a 4 unit building, you live in one, two of the units pay your mortgage and your expenses, and the third and the fourth unit is your income. You can't beat this if you buy it right. And when I say if you buy it right, I mean it has to be cash flowing, people. You can't just say, oh, I love this. This is a cute neighborhood and I love this 4 unit. You can't just say the numbers have to make sense. It's a different purchase than when you're purchasing your forever loving home where you're gonna raise your family and live and be happy.
Hmm.
This is an investment, so the numbers have to make sense. If it's cash flowing, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, so many questions come to mind, and I know
Mhm.
this show isn't really scripted or anything, so we're just
Mm-hmm.
having a conversation. So, any
Yes.
questions you all have in the studio audience, please type them. Also, let us know who you are and where you're visiting in from, and invite your friends. Now, when I think of this, like you said, there are some people that don't own property already,
Right.
but
Right.
this may be their very first investment
Mm-hmm.
property, but they're required to live in one of the four
Mm-hmm.
units. The other
Yeah.
three would kind of be their
Investment. It'll
generating.
be, yeah, the rental property. Yeah. So you buy a one building, 4 units, and you automatically have a portfolio because you automatically have 3 rental units.
Now, how do you qualify for something like that if you don't own property already? And what if some people that are tuning in, their credit score is not desirable?
Okay. Okay. So before I answer that question, I'm going to go to the third way you can buy this. We talked about the conventional
Okay.
financing with 5% down. We talked about the FHA financing with 3.5% down. Then I talk about this program, which I think they should pay me as much as I talk about this program. I should be getting a check from NACA.
Right,
And
right.
NACA is NACA.com. NACA.com. NACA. And NACA is not a low income program. NACA is like a equalizing program, leveling the playing field so
Mhm,
everyone can become homeowners. Because not too far in the past, where we had the redlining and the blockbusting, where lenders weren't lending to certain people and lenders weren't lending to certain neighborhood, and people were trying to get everybody out that didn't look like them.
mhm.
So NACA came in, and NACA was the organization that coined the term predatory lending. They're the one that
Predatory.
brought Countrywide and Bank of America down. So now Bank of America partnered with NACA, and they give them like $20 million or something like that every year to help
Huh.
create homeowners. And so the program, you have to do like a workshop where they teach you how to be responsible homeowner. So when you own the property, you're not going to lose it through foreclosure because you're
Right.
not getting in over your head,
Mhm.
right? So the program, it doesn't matter what your credit score is.
Hmm.
They pay for the down payment and the closing costs. Of course, you have to financially qualify for whatever amount you're going to purchase, but they
Right.
give you the down payment, the closing costs. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. And so
Wow.
how you're able to purchase a multifamily, and you can buy a multifamily unit with NACA. So what are your excuses? You should not have any excuses.
Hmm.
No down payment, no closing costs, and it doesn't matter what your credit score is. If I were you, I would run to NACA right now and sign up for that workshop and then call me.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
Sign up for the workshop, do the workshop, and then call me and give me your NACA ID, and we can take it from there. I'm telling you, that program is one of the best. You can buy a 600, because I just helped someone buy a $655,000 townhouse in Fairfax,
Mhm.
Virginia. And she's a doctor. So again, I want you to know it's not a low income program. It's just a program that is helping you
Right.
become a homeowner. Yeah.
That's so good. This is
Yeah.
so good, y'all. I mean, am I on an island by myself over here? This is some great information that's being shared. So once they get their NACA ID, which means that they've gone through the
Through that
appropriate.
workshop. And the workshop is on a Saturday, and they've
Okay.
been doing it a lot online, which is great. I don't know if they've gone back into the offices now where you would have to go into the office and do it. But either way, it's from, I think, 9 to 4. You can give up 9 to 4 on Saturday if
Yes,
you're getting free money to buy a property that's going to start creating passive income and take you into some lasting wealth and generational wealth if that's what you're looking
that's
for.
good. And so,
Right?
like, one, I'll give an example for
Mhm.
something personally because I'm over here taking notes too, by the way. So I'm not just telling y'all to take notes. I'm taking notes. So I can go back and watch the replay too. But what I was thinking about is I personally have 5 children. And
Uh-huh.
so one of them already has a permanent home. He's in heaven.
Hmm.
But the other four, and so he's made it home. But the other four, two of them are getting ready to move out into their
Right.
own situation.
Right. Right.
It sounds like it would make sense to move out into this
Listen to
type of
me.
situation versus just going and renting a apartment or something.
Listen to me, Kim. They are employed.
Yes.
Yes. They should start just go online. It doesn't hurt for you to just go online. And here's the thing. I'd rather you have a property than none at all. I am the multifamily expert. That's what I speak on because I want people to create passive income so you can take care of yourself. Because we live in longer, you need a check
That's
every
right.
month, right? When you're ready to retire, you need a check. So I'm about the multifamily, but I'm about you owning real estate.
Mhm.
So even if they for whatever reason can't get a multifamily unit, they can still go through the NACA program and buy a condo, buy a townhouse, buy a single family, whatever. And I believe this is my professional opinion that for you, I'm talking for your 4 kids now. Your fifth kid, he has a place. He could get a multifamily unit, but he can't go through NACA because NACA, you can't currently own a property in order to go through their program. That's one of the stipulations. You cannot be a current homeowner, or you could be a current homeowner, but by the time you're ready to purchase through NACA, that property would have to have been sold or out of your name.
Interesting. Okay. Wow.
Yes,
This
out of
is
your name.
really
So you heard me, out of your name or sold.
right. I'm already I'm reading between the lines. I get it. I get it. So
Right.
you feel like everyone should own a multifamily 4 unit
Right,
to start.
right.
And then you also said something about, because I know I've been doing some research and you were talking
Hmm.
about leveraging life insurance products. What are you
Yes.
saying there?
Oh, I'm gonna answer that after I answer the question you asked me a few minutes ago.
I know
The
I asked you about
question,
3 or 4 questions.
right, right. The question was, how do you, how do you afford it, right? And so when you're buying a multifamily unit, it's different from when you're buying a condo, a townhouse, or a single family. When you're buying one of those condo, townhouse, or single family, the bank is only using your income. It's your income they're using to qualify you, right? Unless
Okay.
you have somebody else you're buying it with, those are the income that will be utilized. When you're buying a multifamily, the bank uses 75% of the rent that you will receive and add that as your income. That's what enables you to buy a more expensive property. And let me put it in numbers for you.
Okay.
Let's say your rent that you're receiving every month is $4,000.
Okay.
The bank will put $3,000 of that $4,000 towards your income. So let's say you were making $3,000 a month. Now you have $6,000 a month they're using as your income. So of course you can buy something more expensive. And that's how you're able to buy the multifamily, because 75% of the rents. So you buy a property that's occupied. Yes, we want a property that's occupied so they can use the rents. And then you move into one and you're able to buy a much more expensive property than you would be able to buy yourself. And when I say more expensive, because we're talking about, this is an investment. We're talking about a return on your investment, your ROI. So
Mhm.
when some places, when you buy, the more expensive it is, the higher the rents are, which means the more money you're gonna make. Like for example, if you're like, oh my gosh, this is $1.6 million for this
Mhm.
4 unit property, but a $1.6 million 4 unit property in Alexandria, Virginia, each unit, let's say 2 unit, is like $4,000 a month rent. So you add that up and see how good you are,
Mhm.
even with you living in 1 unit, right? You living in 1 unit, you renting 3 units, you're paying your debt, which is the mortgage, and you're getting income coming into. There's and I
Just a
know people say, well,
win-win.
I don't want to be a landlord. Well, don't be a landlord. I'm like, I'm living here. You don't know I'm the owner because I have a property management company that manages you. You're not going to be knocking on my door talking about, oh, Nancy, the toilet is running. No, 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 no. I'm living here just like you. I'm renting just like you. I'm renting just like you. Yes, they don't need to know you're the owner. I'm renting just like you. You have a property. Please don't. There's some places where you negotiate and you cheap out. This is not one of the places. Hire a professional property management company. You pay them anywhere from 7 to 10% per
Mhm.
month, and let them handle the nightly calls. You just go to bed and collect your check the first or the fifth of the month. Okay?
Girl, this is better than network marketing right here.
It is. This is what you call, when people say, "Oh, multiple streams of income." This is the
Yes.
stream of income because it's not a job you're going to every day. You don't have to do anything but do something once. You bought the building. That's all you did, and now
Hmm.
collect your check every
Okay.
month.
Well, so y'all please ask your own questions. I see Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. She's the founder of CTR Media Network, which allows us to stream here on the Kim Jacobs Show in 100 countries. So
All
we get
right.
the opportunity to stream in all of these different countries thanks to what she's sharing. She said, very interesting, very interesting. Put your comments in the comments, and that's powerful. Yes, it is. Listen, I'm trying to get a visual. When I go to the bank now, and I
Uh
already
huh.
took ownership of it. When I go to the bank, first of all, I go online, I find a property. The property needs to already have existing tenants before I.
I prefer that for you, especially if you have done it before, bought multi units before. Doesn't matter. If you are first time, this is what I prefer it to be occupied, because the banks doesn't have to think about, well, what if, even though we can show them the trailing 12, meaning
Right.
what they were paying the last 12 months. It's easier if you already have tenants in place,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
if it's fully occupied, we buy it letting the people know that somebody got to move within 60 days of you buying it. 60 days is what the lender gives you so that it doesn't appear to be an investment property. So if
Right.
it's 4 units, one of the tenants have to move within 60 days so you can move in.
Girl, you are Nancy Alert. First of all, that name alone, right? It puts you in a whole different. That's your real
I know.
government
I,
name.
I thank my daddy every day for this name. Even when I was married, I kept it. I'm like, I'm keeping Nancy Alert because I've never met a Nancy Alert. I've
Ever.
Googled me. I'm the only one.
Yes, you have to keep Nancy alert, and you are making us alert about this knowledge that we're coming into the. Once you come into the knowledge, you're supposed to walk therein. And
I'm
this,
saying once you learn it, you can't unlearn it.
hmm,
And the lot of the thing is, most of us, it's the information we don't have, the knowledge.
mhm,
And sometimes we fight the knowledge when someone is trying to give it to, well, not try, when someone is providing us the information, we fight it because of all of our past experiences and what happened, and somebody done did this to you, or whatever. So now you can't really see the knowledge I'm working on providing to you. You're just thinking about what Susie did to you 10 years ago, which now she's still doing it to you because she's preventing you from moving forward,
that's right. That's right.
right?
So
So
still being
stop
a
her
stumbling
from
block.
hurting you and just take note. I'm saying trust but verify. I tell everybody, trust but verify. Check me out, Google me, what have you. Google whomever you're working with. Make sure you check people out to make sure that they are who they say they are. Because I
Mhm.
understand what's going on out here. But what you have to understand is when people say, um, people always say that the information that you receive. No, that's not what I was going to say. It just went totally out of my head what I was going to say.
Take your time. We have a whole hour, girl. But in the
Oh
meantime,
my
while
god!
you're thinking about it, let me put these comments up. How do you start? Is what one person was asking too. So I'm sure that thought will come back to you. But let's answer some of
Right.
these questions.
Okay, so how do you start? So it depends on where you are, what it is that you're looking to do. Are you looking to buy a four unit as an investor, meaning that you're not going to live in any of the unit, or are you looking to buy a four unit as an owner occupant for one of the units, right? And that determines what programs you get into.
Mm,
So if you're going to be owner occupant in one unit, you can do FHA financing, you can do the NACA financing. If you're buying it as an investor and you're not going to live in any, you do conventional financing.
mm, okay.
And to get started, here's what you do. And I'm going to say this. I've been a realtor for 28 years, and not every realtor, most realtors I will say, is for you to go to find your ever loving one home where you're going to live and raise
Right.
your kids, right?
Mhm.
You have to look for an investor friendly, meaning someone that's worked with investors and understand that this is not about heart, this is about ROI, return
Right.
on investment. You have to. And you, if you're looking for a multi-family unit, you cannot go to someone that has never sold a multi-family unit, because they're not going to be able to help you. And those are the facts. Those are the
Mm.
facts. Right? I'm not
This,
saying that your realtor friend that you know, because everyone knows at least 20 realtors. Okay.
right, right, right.
Everyone knows at least 20 realtors. I'm not saying your realtor friend is not a good realtor. What I'm saying is your realtor friend may just be the realtor that can find you and negotiate for you the house that you're going to live in. When it comes to the investment part, they may not be, and they might want to try and error with you, try, work, learn on the job with you.
Right.
You don't want that. This is one of your largest assets, and
Mm,
you want to make sure that the person that's representing you is representing you, and they understand all the intricacies of multi-unit and all the other things that come with it. If they don't understand what subject to is, if they don't understand that you can actually assume a VA loan without getting new financing, or without even if you have bad credit, there's all kinds of ways as an investor or even as a buyer that you can purchase property without putting money down or without going and get a new loan. You can assume a loan or you can do a subject to, right?
okay.
So like VAs, and just know, whatever I'm talking to you about, all of the stuff I'm talking to you about, I've either done it or
Right.
in the middle of doing it. So this is not theory. This is me giving you the real, because I'm in the weeds. I'm in these real estate streets every day. So my first condo I bought in, I think it was 1994,
Hmm.
before I was a realtor,
Hmm.
because I've always been creative. So I could make a deal. I could make a deal happen. If Mary says it can't happen, bring it to me. We'll find a way to make it happen, because there's always a creative way, always another way you can put it together and make it happen, right? So my first condo I bought, it was in Manassas, Virginia, and it was assumable unrestricted, and I bought it in 1994. And if for assumable unrestricted, any property that was financed before 1989, and it was an FHA loan. It was assumable unrestricted, meaning you didn't even have to qualify credit wise for it. You just take over. You just take over the loan, right? You just take it over and keep it moving. That's how I bought my first property. And then after I became a realtor in 1996 and got married in 1995, we bought our first townhouse together in Annandale, Virginia. That was a VA financing. We did it contract. Then it was called contract for deed.
Right.
Today it's called subject to. What that means is we bought it subject to the current financing. So Leah was the owner and she had a VA loan on the property.
Mhm.
And we bought the property, had all the tax benefits, but the loan was still in Leah's name. The loan was
Oh,
still in Leah's name. And you have how many every years that you negotiate before you get it out of your name? We negotiated 2 years. And full transparency, we bought it that way because our credit sucked at the time. It did. It sucked. It sucked. And so we bought it that way because credit wise we couldn't afford it. Financially we could. So we bought it contract for deed. Leah's name still on the loan. We have all the tax benefits. She gets the information, the all the interest paid and stuff like that directly from the lender, and then she send it to us so we can file our taxes. And just so you know, this is legal on your tax form. There's a slot where that it says, are you claiming interest paid that was paid to somebody else, meaning that she's the one name is on, and you check that box so you get the
mhm,
credit. And we got that. We assumed that for 178, right? I don't
mhm.
know why she couldn't sell that property. It was a beautiful property. I don't know why she couldn't sell it, but she couldn't, because God wanted me to have it.
That's
That's
the
all I'm
point.
gonna
I was
say.
gonna say
Because
it's
God
a bit
wanted
of a God thing for you, and
God wanted me
you
to have it
appreciate it.
so I can talk about it today. Seriously,
That's
because
good.
we assumed it for 178. And 2 years later, our credit still wasn't where it needed to be. And we had to get it out of her name in 2 years. So we sold it.
Hmm,
It's true story. She didn't think we can sell it, right? So
mhm.
she was mad. She called a lawyer to find out because we sold it for 450.
Right.
And she was like, wait a minute, I thought I was gonna get it back so I could get that money. She called the lawyer, and funny thing is she called the law firm that I was a paralegal at. And they're like, Nancy, bring us your contract. Let us see what's going on.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you good. You just have to get it out of her name. However, you get it out of her name, you get
Right.
it out.
Right.
And so the story is we bought it for 178. We didn't put any money down. And I got my realtor commission as well. And then 2 years later, we sold it and made a lot of money on it.
Hmm,
So you can right now, if it's a VA loan, because a lot of people bought at the top of the market and maybe they're ready to sell now and they haven't gotten any real gain on it,
right.
but they need to get rid of it. If it's a VA financing and you have that low interest rate, assume it. Assume it. So you could assume it and qualify for it and just take the current financing,
Yes.
or you can do subject to, where you don't even have to deal with any of the financing
Hmm,
part, but you do own the property. You have all the benefits of it. You can do whatever you want to do as an owner with the property. And then if you say, well, in 3 years we'll either sell it or get it out of your name or whatever we're going to do, that's what you do. So those are ways you can buy
hmm,
properties
mhm.
without even have to come out of pocket with money, or even financing the property.
And that's even with not so good credit is the point that you're
Right.
making.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, so listen, everybody in the studio audience, we've been talking already with Nancy Alert, even though she's married, but that's her original government name.
Oh no, I'm
Nancy,
divorced, but
you're divorced?
I'm divorced. I'm
Oh,
alert.
okay, okay,
I
okay.
went. I never left alert. I kept alert.
Oh, but you left him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. So you needed to keep alert, right? You needed to keep that last name for a reason. God even put that in your heart, probably.
Yes,
That's
yes.
funny. Okay, so but obviously divorce is not funny. We know that.
But no, we get it.
We don't want anybody to have to go through divorce because it's not something that's a pretty situation
Right.
or a laughable
But if
matter.
it's something you need to do, do it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is whatever God put
Yeah.
for you to do it. All right. So anyway, Nancy Alert. You can go to the alertfactor.com and you can book a free 30-minute consultation. You can't get any better than that. Right now, today on the Kim Jacobs Show, she's sharing information with us for this hour, which is it's invaluable information that you can immediately start moving forward today. You don't even have to wait until tomorrow or next week or next month. She's given
Right.
us tips that we can implement today by going online, looking to see what's available, working with a realtor, going
Yeah.
through the NACA program, getting that NACA ID. But all
Mhm.
of it will bring you back, all roads will lead back to Nancy Alert. So
Right.
make sure you reach out to her directly for further.
And just so you know, this is not just for people that lives in the DMV. There's a NACA office anywhere USA, right?
Mhm.
I don't know about Alaska, okay, but if you're in Georgia, if you're in Texas, wherever you are, just go to the NACA.com website that you see on the screen and just put in where you are and look for a field office. And that's where you can go or do the program online. But you can do this anywhere. And every so often, they have like a super Saturday or whatever they call it,
Mhm.
where they're in different locations, like in New York or Texas or wherever, and you can literally come and have all of the stuff that will take you weeks and weeks to do in one day. In one
Yeah.
day, in the same room, you have it all done. You get your NACA ID, you get your representative. I
Yeah.
call it your caseworker, but yes, that can help you through the process and everything. Once you get your NACA ID, give me a call, and I will put you in touch with the person. If you're looking to buy a multifamily unit, I will put you in touch with the realtor that is qualified, that is experienced in multifamily units or investor friendly realtor for you wherever you're looking in the United States. I have colleagues that I call them my team, that I vetted, people that I've met in
Uh-huh.
person, um, that I know that do business the way I do business and understands the multifamily movement and the multifamily process.
So don't let anything, it sounds like it, don't let anything deter you from or put, you know how you overthink things, everybody?
Do you
Don't
overthink
overthink.
things? But most importantly, and I just said this to my mother yesterday because she
Mhm.
was telling someone not to do something. They were interested in going in the insurance industry, and she was telling them based on someone's experience that she knew someone had a bad experience, and she was like, no, don't do it, don't. I said, you're not qualified. I love you, but you're not qualified to give that advice. You're not. And she looked, I said, no, you're not. You're giving advice based on what someone else went through. You don't know what they did or didn't do that made them fell
That's
into
right.
whatever situation they fell into.
Yeah.
Now you're giving someone else advice, telling them, no, don't do that because Mary had a bad experience.
Right.
Listen to me. Love our parents, right? But if they don't own a multifamily unit, don't get advice from them for that. Okay? Don't. You get advice for other stuff, but do not get advice. And it goes to your friends too. Your
That's
friends, your
right.
colleagues, the ones that always know everything and wants to tell you how to live your life, but they're not living their life. They're living their lives safely, but they're telling you what you should and should not do out in these streets. Don't listen. Don't
You
listen.
said,
If you don't have what I'm trying what I'm working to get, you can advise me on how to get it.
you know what? Anybody that shares in that philosophy, please put it in the comment section. Say, I agree with you, Nancy. I agree. I agree. And if you disagree, put that too. No,
Put
I
that
believe
too.
people can
Yeah.
share. But you know what? I really appreciate that you're saying that because that's exactly why I do this show. Because I want to bring guests on like yourself that's experts in different areas and you've overcome and you're balancing your life and managing life because you are a business owner, you're award-winning host, you're also a person that's an international best-selling author, but this is like a niche of yours,
Right.
carving out this real estate piece. So people need to know that's why with the Kim Jacobs show, you're getting balance brought to your home. And if you, and I this is a moment for you all to just pour into the broadcast. The
Mm.
only way that the Kim Jacobs show functions Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time is through community members like yourselves. Just like other broadcasts, you have PBS and CTVN and all these different
Right, right,
broadcasts. They have community members that pour into
right.
their broadcasts. I want you all to pour into the Kim Jacobs show so that we can keep our programming going at this level every weekday. You can do that through Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc. You can also do it through PayPal, paypal.me forward
Mm.
slash Kim Jacobs Inc. Or you can also do it through Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. And you can become a Patreon member where we do some behind the scenes exclusive content just for our Patreon members. And I want to also congratulate Sharon Baker, just became a Patreon member. Woo woo, we see you and want to give a shout out to you. Patreon.com/ The Kim Jacobs Show. All right. So make sure you all take a moment and do that. And I put it over in the comment section. What I think I'm hung on and stuck on is the fact that your credit doesn't have to be perfect for you to be
Mhm.
able to qualify for these situations because they're using the rent
Mhm.
from the existing tenants.
Tenants, yeah,
And even if it's for 4-unit property, one of those tenants will have to technically within a 60-day period, I took a bunch of notes here,
of
would have to
purchase. Mhm.
get out in order for you to be able to reside in the property so it's not an investment property, correct?
Right, exactly. I'm dealing with one of that right now, and this one is a $1.5 million property, 4 unit, and it's fully occupied. So we let them know ahead of time. Somebody's got to move in 60 days if we're buying this. Somebody, we're gonna look at the units and pick the one that he wants, and that they got to move because otherwise, it's mortgage fraud because you're saying, and mortgage fraud will get you 30 years in jail and $1 million fine. So we don't want no part of that.
No mortgage fraud.
No
Let's
mortgage
all
fraud
stay clear
because,
of mortgage fraud.
right,
Mm.
because you out there trying to be extra creative, talking about, yeah, well, we'll say we live in there and we don't. I don't know who's coming to check. I don't know, but I'm telling you, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm put
Okay.
you front and center on that one. Go ahead, say it again.
Yeah, so the mortgage fraud, seriously, it's 30 years in jail and $1 million fine. If you're saying that you're getting this financing to live in the property, but you're actually buying it as an investment property, they'll get you. Because somebody will not like you and know that you're doing it because people like to talk and this is how criminals get caught because they're always running their mouths. And then next thing you know, somebody's mad at you and they call up whomever they need to call up, and next thing you know, you in jail. And
Yeah,
that's not just real to jail, that's real jail.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
real jail, y'all. She's
So
talking
don't
about.
do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. So I'm going to answer the other question that you had asked several minutes ago is the leveraging of the life insurance
Yes.
products. So most people think life insurance is for death benefits. I don't even
Mhm.
talk about death benefits with the life insurance. It comes in as an afterthought. But what I talk about with my clients is how you can live your best life leveraging these life insurance products, not what you're going to leave for somebody to fight for later on. If you
Mhm.
have children and stuff, we talk about that. But
Mhm.
if you come to me and you're married, and the first thing I want to talk to you about is leveraging is mortgage protection,
Mhm.
right? So you buy a property, you and your husband and wife, or wife and wife, husband and husband, whoever, you buy it together. You own it together. And one of the partners pass.
Mhm.
And let's say one of the partners was a stay-at-home partner, right?
Mhm.
And this is why I got my license because this happened to two clients of mine. And I was like, no, no. I'm not going to help you buy your largest asset and then have you lose it. I'm going to have to show you how to protect it.
Right.
Okay. So that's when I got my life insurance license. And then every client of mine, once we settle, I'm like, in 30 days, we're going to be sitting down at the table and we're going to talk about mortgage protection. We're going to talk about some IULs and them kids you have. We're going to talk about some insurance products that can get them to pay for their
Right.
college, to start a business or whatever. Because the 529, it's only for, if they don't go to college, you still have to pay taxes on the money because it's only for
Right.
college. If they want to go travel the world, you can use the insurance money. If they want to start a business, you can use the insurance money. I'm just saying. So those are the things I talk to every client about 30 days after they purchase.
Hmm.
So they had the time to move in and what have you, ready to cook me a dinner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some exotic food item, right?
Exactly. We come back to the food and then we sit and we talk about the mortgage protection. It is important because here's the thing. Let's say your wife or your husband is a stay at home, because it's equal opportunity these days, is a stay at home parent. And the parent that works or provides the income passes. How are you protected? Because, oh, by the way, that insurance you have at the job, maybe $100,000, may not. I don't know. Maybe $50,000. That's not going to keep you in the lifestyle that you have been living. So the mortgage protection, what it does is you keep the house, and plus, let's say the house is $500,000, you got a mortgage protection for $500,000, and
Hmm.
it's really inexpensive. And so you get $500,000 when the person passed. Now, if you can afford the mortgage the way it is, then you keep it and then you go buy another building. That's
Hmm.
all I'm saying with that. And that's how you can create generational wealth, right? You keep the house because you can afford the payments, and you go buy a building. And if you can't afford the payments, you refinance it, because you have to refinance it. If you just throw money at it,
Hmm.
it doesn't reduce the monthly payment because it's a closed end loan, which means it
Right.
doesn't matter how much money you put up into it now, you're still paying based on the original loan amount. So you
Okay.
refinance it, then throw the cash at it, like maybe half of what you got. So now you have a lower monthly payment that you can afford. So this is one thing you should think about. I call it buy, rent, live, die, pass it on. It's simple.
Somebody
You
type that. Buy.
buy,
Let me type.
rent, buy, rent, live,
Buy, rent.
live, die, because we all gonna die, and pass it on. Nobody's making it out alive. So you buy your multifamily unit
Hmm.
and you're renting it throughout the years. You're renting it, getting your income, life is good. And then you're ready to retire.
Hmm.
You take all of the equity out of that property. When I say all, as the most they will allow you to take out, you take it out of that asset, and you live your best life. You travel the world, or you stay at home if that's what you choose, and fish, whatever
Right.
you're able to do. You don't have to depend on Social Security or what have you. If you need to go to an assisted living facility, you have money to do that. Okay. So you take out all of the equity out of your property, you live your best life, and then you die. And when you die, you pass it on to your children, your wife, your whomever, right?
Hmm.
But the good thing is, you spoke with Nancy when you bought it and you got the mortgage protection. So not only does your wife or your beneficiary, whomever, gets the house, the property, the 4 unit, they also get, let's say it was worth $1 million, they get $1 million. Now, again, they can do the same thing. They could pay down. If it's a 4 unit and it's cash flowing, don't touch it. Don't do anything. Don't do
Okay.
anything. Right? But
Right.
remember, you're taking out all the equity. So if you're paying a higher thing, then you could put some money and pay it down to a manageable, so you can keep getting cash. And then you take the rest of the money, you start a business, or you buy another multifamily unit. And that's how you create lasting or generational wealth, lasting income or generational wealth. Remember, you put the insurance on it, it covers it, so you get a check and you get the asset.
Hmm. But
Yes.
this is all stuff you're going to teach us when we come to get your training, because it's
Yes.
impossible. It's
So
impossible to
it
learn
is
all of this
possible.
in
So
one hour.
I
Huh?
I do one-on-one training, or I do group training, right?
Okay.
And the training is 497, and it's for 90 days. 497 for 90 days,
And
and we go in, or you pay to be part of my Facebook investor group. You pay $49 a month, and you have access to me and other investors. You get questions asked. It's called Ask Nancy. And whatever question you have to ask, you can ask me. You could be a realtor asking me real estate questions, doesn't matter what state you're in. I'm a real estate broker in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. So if you have questions, because I have realtors call me every day, and they're the reason I created this Ask Nancy, because I'm like, okay, all right, you're gonna pay for this information now because I've been giving it to you for free for years. So you ask Nancy, and once a month we have mastermind where we can choose a person and kind of build out whatever it is they're trying to build out. But throughout the month, you have questions. I answer them. Sometimes people in the group may answer the question for you and give you whatever. You have access to me for the entire month, and I do communicate, pretty quickly in that chat group. And then we have the once a month mastermind, and it's $49 a month for that. But the group setting, which is 90 days, and we meet once a week and go over how to start a business. If you want to start a business, the right way to start a business,
yeah.
the things you need, because people want to start a business, they just want to be like, well, I just want to do what you do, Nancy, and make money. I said, okay, but do you want to do what I did to do be here? Do you want
Mhm.
to do what I did? Did you know that I lost millions in the real estate industry? That's why I'm here right now as an expert in the multifamily unit, because I lost $5 million, and I'm like, that's not going to happen again. And I evaluated that experience, because you have to evaluate it, because experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is what's the best teacher. And once I evaluated why I lost those 8 properties when the real estate market jumped off the cliff and dragged me with it, I realized, wow, multifamily units is where I need to be. And this is why I'm on that crusade to teach everyone, show them why this is exactly what you need, what you should be doing to create the life that you were born to live. We weren't born to be like, oh, struggling and stressing. No, if you do it right and you do it once, you'll be good.
Now, when you say you've lost millions, exactly 5 million, that's a lot of millions to lose. That's a lot of millions for anybody to just ultimately even have. So for you to have lost $5 million, a lot of people, as you've seen, many
And
people.
can smile now instead of crying. Right.
Yeah, I
And
don't. I would love, from a balance perspective, for you to share how you got to the other side of that mountain, and you're still here to smile about it. Please.
so when the real estate market jumped off the cliff, I owned 8 properties and individual properties. And I had a property in Chicago on the Magnificent Mile. It's right there, 10 East Ontario Place. I think it was on the 28th floor of the building. I paid 440,000 for that one bedroom, plus 40,000 for the parking space. So 480,000 on a one bedroom condo in Chicago, and their market, real estate market, is worse. Than It's terrible. Um, and at the same time, which I always laugh at it now, at the same time, I sold my client a deal, and I just spoke with him this morning. I sold him a 4 unit building in DC Northeast across from the stadium for $280,000.
Okay.
Okay, $280,000, which is worth north of 950 right now.
Now, yeah.
And he gets notes all the time. Do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? We want to buy. He's like, no, 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 not interested. But at that time, I have to be honest. For some reason, even though I was selling it, I was afraid, because I thought, oh my God, that's like four. I don't even know why I thought that was beyond, because it was a 4 unit. You got 4 units for 280, but I bought 1 unit for 480.
Right.
Let's do. I mean, and oh, by the way, he still has his and I don't. Um, so when the tenants stopped paying, and remember back then, we got all those stated income loans and
Hmm.
those no doc loans, and each property had two loans on it, a first and a second, because you're not even putting money down. It was just you blink and you got a loan. So I had 8 properties, and each one had two loans,
Wow.
two loans. And so when the tenant stopped paying for about 3 years, I kept paying it myself because I wanted to preserve my credit score.
Mhm.
And finally, I was like, Lord Jesus, take the wheel. I can't do this anymore. I'm giving this to you. I'm not taking it back. I'm giving it to you. Handle this. Handle this. I can't.
Right.
So I lost all of those properties. I did. I tried to do a short sale on a couple of them, but this is the issue with the banking industry. I called them up. I said, look here, I know I'm paying my mortgage, but I could see I'm going to have an issue real soon.
Mhm.
Can we do a modification? Can we do blah, blah,
Right.
blah? And they said to me, we can't talk to you unless you're 90 days delinquent.
Ah.
So now you want to just totally my credit score up before you could even talk to me, right? And you're not guaranteeing you're going to help me, but you won't talk to me unless I'm 90 days delinquent. Because why are they talking to you? You paying your rent, they're like you, I mean your mortgage. They're like, you
You're
good.
figuring it out some kind of way, so we don't need to talk
You
to
some
you.
kind of way you getting this mortgage money to pay
Right.
me, so we're good. So then I was like, oh, okay. So I stopped paying all of them, right? And then of course they're like, well, you're not paying it, and if you're telling us you're not getting the money in that you're supposed to get, how we
I'm
go
gonna
get you a
believe
loan,
you.
how you gonna pay? So you see what I'm saying?
You're in a conundrum, literally. It's like a
So I'm like,
catch-22.
I can't. Just take it. Just take it. So take them all. And that's how I lost them. And then in my infinite wisdom, I'm like, real estate is my life. I'm gonna stay in it. However, I need to be doing something to get some money. So I went and I started a magazine. My client and my partner and I, Her Life magazine. It was a magazine in the DC metro area that highlighted women that did great things in their community and their
Mhm.
lives. And it was a free magazine, but run fueled by advertisement. So you know how that's going to go right now.
Oh yeah.
So I lost $400,000 dealing with that mess. And then I had to live off of the money I saved. Thank you, Jesus, that I had saved well. But then what you don't know will hurt you. People say what you don't know won't hurt you. Nah, that's one of the biggest lies ever told. What you don't know
Will
will
hurt you.
hurt you.
I
Because
believe
at the
that.
time, I did not know that I could have borrowed against my stocks. I had 300 base shares of Facebook. And every so often, I want to shed a tear when I realized that I had to sell it because I had to live. But had I borrowed against it, now I would have it. How much is Facebook worth? I paid $32 for it when I bought it. How much is it worth now? Yeah, per share. Like I think it's over $400. Right? So when you think of it, those are all the money that was lost because I didn't know. So during the time when I was paralyzed mentally because I lost so much, I didn't know what to do. I started because of what a friend said to me, a client actually. She was like, I don't like this Nancy. This Nancy is not the Nancy that I know. What's going
Right.
on? And I was like, well, I've lost everything and I don't know what to do. All the decisions I've made brought me here. I'm in Brokeville. I don't know how to live here. I don't know what to do. And she's like, girl, you Nancy Alert. My tagline was getting it done. And she said, go get it done. You
Hmm.
got it done before. You have the information. You have the knowledge. Go get it done. And I thought about it and I did a lot of research and I read a lot. And so then I found out about buying on margin. So then when I was coming back from the fall, I bought a lot of stocks on margin and stuff and I made
Mhm.
some money and I was like, oh, this is how they do it. So the thing is the information is so important,
Yes, it
right?
is.
When you say don't hate the player, hate the game, I'm like, don't hate anybody. Just learn
Don't
the
hate
rules of
anybody.
the
Just
game.
learn and
Just
get
learn
better.
the rules of the game so you too can participate. And that's what I did. I
That's
learned
good.
rules of the game so I can participate and so I can share it with you so you too can participate and you too can live the life like everybody else is living. So you no longer have to say, well, they grew up with money or somebody helped them. Yes, somebody helped. Somebody, there's always somebody in your corner, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, that give you, they might not have given you money, but they give you the encouragement or
Knowledge.
whatever to get you to be in that mindset. And how did I switch it? I had to change my mindset because I was literally frozen for 3 years mentally. I was like paralyzed, couldn't do anything. But once I changed my mindset and created strategy, plan, and a routine,
Mhm.
then my life became back what it was and even a little better.
Yay, I'm
And even
excited.
a
That's
little
an
better.
inspiring story for all of us
Yeah.
that's watching
Yeah.
today. And by the way, Facebook on Meta platforms, it's $501.83 today per share type. So I mean, yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, you had a good deal back then, right? 30 something dollars. Okay, listen, some comments
How
came
much is the
in.
Facebook? 500?
It says Facebook share price today, Meta platforms is $501.83.
So I bought it when the day it came out, when Facebook went public. That's when I bought it. $32.
Mm, mm, mm.
And then I had to sell it, I think 2 or 3 years later. I mean, I made some money, but not $500.
Listen, everybody, I know we've had a hearty discussion with Nancy Alert today, and I know on your bucket list, before we close out, just something personal about you. I know you want to definitely travel to 3 different countries because you do that every single year.
Every year.
And so tell us just a few of the countries you've already visited and maybe some of the ones that are on your bucket list that you'd like to still visit.
Yeah, I believe because we live in such a global community, right? I love traveling because I like experiencing the different cultures. So I've been to London, I've been to Iceland, I've been to Italy several almost I mean because Italy is huge, so I've been to many different cities in Italy. um I've been to Dubai, I've been to Abu Dhabi, Qatar. I mean, so my and all the islands. And what I one of that's on my bucket list is Egypt, Greece, and I'm hoping to go to Greece this year. So Egypt, Greece is on my list, and I definitely want to go to South Africa. Yeah. So I picked 3 countries every year. I've been to Thailand, which I love because I love Thai food. Love
Yeah,
Thailand. Yes.
I'm excited.
And
You'll have to travel
Singapore
with
and
you every
Japan.
once in a while because this is some good experiences.
Yeah, Singapore and Japan is on the list as well.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that your heart's desires will become a reality as you've proven that you can make things happen already. So I saw different comments too. Judy said, "Yes, you went all the way around." And so thank you so much for your comment and participation. Judy, I saw others as well. I agree with Nancy. Thank you, Mackenzie Backstage. Thumbs up. Judy said she agrees with you. And then Virginia Rutherford Hall, she has a show called Wings of Wisdom, and she said, "Just do it. Just do this. Just do what
Just
Nancy's talking about here." Yes, great comment. Great
just
comment.
do it.
Judy said NACA.com. She's in the Texas area. So glad to have you here on the
Mhm.
Kim Jacobs Show today in the virtual studio audience. Hello, ladies. Great information. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that participated in the studio audience. Uh, Return on investment, get the right blueprint. You can get the right blueprint and you can get it right from Nancy Alert, who's
Mhm.
willing.
Yeah.
Not everybody's willing to even listen to me, y'all. Not everybody's willing to share this level of information. Many times people are like, "I got for me and mine," and that's it.
Exactly.
And they go on
Yeah.
about their
Yeah.
business and they live a great life. Nancy Alert is willing to meet with you for 30 minutes to pour into you free information outside of what she's already shared here on the show.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
you can join her program and learn more about it. But all you have to do is go to thealertfactor.com. I'm saying this for our audio podcast
Mhm.
listeners over on iHeartRadio and Spotify and different places. Thealertfactor.com. and you can book your 30-minute free consultation as a gift from Nancy Alert to you. Okay, so
Mhm.
don't miss that opportunity and don't make an excuse. Just get a result in your life. If you're sick of your life being the way that it is, and you have, God has given us a vessel right here to help change the trajectory of our lives. Don't miss this opportunity to connect with Nancy Alert. Okay. Any closing comments, Nancy?
This is what I'd like to say. This is your life, and no matter what you believe in, whether we're going to come again or we're going to come back as a fly or butterfly, whatever, this is the only one you will have as this, right? And you live it to the fullest. I'm not saying be reckless, I'm saying live it to the fullest. Do the things you want to do. Write your goals and your dreams down. If you don't write them down and you don't review them, you don't look at them, how are you going to know when you get to the end of it that you've actually achieved what you have on your goals? You have a business plan. When was the last time you looked at it? When you wrote it? Well, no, you have to look at it often. Sometimes you have to change it, update it.
Mhm.
One thing I'm going to leave with you: when you wake up in the morning, before you jump up in hurry harry, running out, missing your coffee, missing this because you're about to be 10 minutes late because you didn't wake up in time and you forgot that you're in the DC metro area, New York, California, wherever, where there's traffic.
And real
There's
intense.
traffic. There's traffic every day. Before your feet touch the ground, this is the routine that's changed my life. I pray and meditate. I pray, or you can pray or meditate depending on what your beliefs are. I pray and I meditate, right? Then I set my intention for the day. What is it that I am going to do? What is it that I'm looking to accomplish? Thank you, Jesus, for giving me breath and life today so that I can do the things I need to do to get me to the place I want to be at, and do it in your name and stay away from the things that I don't need in my life. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. I
Amen.
I I ask God to guide me, give me the direction so I can go in the direction that I am looking to go in, or the direction that He wants me to go in. Most importantly, the direction He wants me to go in, and do those things and bring only positive energy in my direction. Stay away from the negative people, they will drain you. Stay away from the people that don't truly support you. And know that everyone that's smiling with you is not with you. Stop talking. Stop telling everybody your business. Move in silence and you'll get it done.
Wow. Okay, y'all, we can't get any better information than what has been shared here today on the Kim Jacobs Show with Nancy Alert. So make sure you all go ahead and stay connected with her. Get your free consultation. Don't miss out on that opportunity. And for all of you, I see Justine Hill, you said this was great information. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I'm sure quite a few people will be connecting with you. So go to thealertfactor.com and share it with your own social media followers and friends, because everybody should be given the opportunity to excel in life in this capacity. And if she personally can't help you in her area, she's already committed to personally connecting you to a realtor in your area that shares the same philosophies that she shares. So
Mhm.
you cannot get any better than that. I'm so
Mhm.
grateful for you being here today and so willing to share freely at the level that you did, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. That is today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you all so much for tuning in and for being in the studio audience. It's because of you that the show is what it is. And without you and your participation, wouldn't matter, because we wouldn't be able to have any of this happen. So thank you all so much. I love each and every one of you. And it's my honor to serve as we bring balance to the world, one household at a time. God bless you and have a great rest of your day. All right. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.